What's up guys, I'm Mystic Mal. Today's video is going to be about Ira and uncovering the mystery behind the old mansion in Twilight Town. Before I get too deep into this, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you share with your friends, as well as hit the notifications bell so you don't miss any of my Mystic content. May your heart be your guiding key. Let's grow this Mystic family. Let's get on with this. But firstly, we know that Ira has met his demise inside of Kingdom Hearts Key during the infamous Keyblade War. But we know when a strong-willed person meets his demise, his body splits into a heartless and into a nobody. And if you really are strong-willed and you have strength of heart, you will become a humanoid version of a nobody. You're going to remember how having a heart feels. Ira met his demise, and later on in the game, we see Twilight Town Kingdom Hearts 2. When you go inside of the old mansion, we know that the old mansion represents a unicorn. We see everywhere on the walls, on the ground, paintings, sculptures, statues, you will see unicorns everywhere. Diz, aka Ansem the Wise, took refuge inside of the old mansion in Twilight Town. But I highly doubt that Ansem the Wise has an infatuation with unicorns. It just seems weird, right? Like, it hasn't sat well with me ever since Kingdom Hearts Key released, and I knew that there's unicorns everywhere inside of the old mansion. So there's lots of different connections and things and references that you can do. And it's crazy how Tetsuya Nomura planned this far ahead before, Kingdom Hearts Key even got released. Like, it's crazy, but you can see so many different connections, and a lot of these things are taken as a grain of salt, but there's so much connections, I can't ignore it, right? So we know that Ira has a nobody lurking around the place, and he took refuge inside of the mansion. Right now, it's known to us as the Old Haunted Mansion, but to Ira at the time, it was brand new, right? Like, maybe Ira's nobody became the leader of Twilight Town. Like, who knows? These things are up in the air. But maybe Ira became the leader of Twilight Town, and Ira's nobody, I'm just gonna say Ira because, we don't know if it has an X in the name or if it's rearranged or whatnot. But we know that Ira's nobody took refuge inside of the old mansion, and he was Twilight Town's leader. So they probably looked at him for wisdom, looked at him for thoughts, and looked at him for help, right? So just like how the citizens of Radiant Garden look towards Ansem the Wise as their leader, we can think of Ira and Twilight Town as the same way. Hence, that's why he has a giant sculpture in his name, and he has so much different sculptures and paintings and drawings and engravings of a unicorn. And there's literally so much to gain here, and maybe there was a great battle that happened that waxed off that whole nobody. He probably got bodied because listen, hear me out. When you go inside of the Twilight Town mansion, everything is in shambles. There's not one thing that's intact. Literally, the only thing that's intact is inside of the white room that Naminé drew in, where that was her arts and crafts room. That's literally the only room that's intact. Every other room, coffee tables are broken, statues are broken, paintings are ripped, the drapes are ripped and burned down. Literally, tables are broken, you have chairs that the legs are torn off. You see that there was some sort of battle that transpired within the mysterious haunted mansion. There's many different things that happen in this mansion that point towards Ira's whereabouts after the events of Kingdom Hearts Key. And another thing on top of that, maybe Luxu was the one that fought with Ira's nobody. Because remember, Luxu's not gonna know. Luxu's just gonna assume and be like, okay, I'm fighting you. Then maybe what were they fighting over? What were they fighting about? Nobody knows. But one thing I'll say is maybe Luxu got into a confrontation with Ira's nobody and they duked it out, they battled, and then that's why the whole place is damaged. And that's why the people of Twilight Town believe that this mansion is haunted, is because that everything happened behind closed doors and they don't know. They see Naminé and Diz just chilling there, and Riku slash Ansem too. And that, you know, people are disappearing, jumping through walls. Like, a person who's a citizen of Twilight Town, if they witness that, they're gonna be like, yo, what the hell, what is this, right? So that's just a dose of reality with how the people in Twilight Town think, as well as how the Twilight Town mansion is portrayed as, and that's why a lot of the people believe that the mansion is haunted. But in actuality, it was really a battlefield. Here's another thing too to think about. That's why the computer and the datascape in the basement of the mansion, that's why there's a computer, there's a datascape, that's why there is a, you know, there's a bunch of different like things to experiment with, and that's why there's a bunch of pods. When you play as Roxas during Roxas's intro inside of Kingdom Hearts 2, you can use the reaction command on the pods inside of the whole like pod chamber, and it will say this was used before. Walk past, and I want you to do this, pause the video and go on Kingdom Hearts 2 right now, and I want you to go to that scene, and you can literally use the reaction command on one of the pods, and it said this was used before. On who? The only people that we know that use the pods is Donald, Goofy, and Sora. It was used before. On who though? That's my big question, is on who? And these things can actually connect with Ira's nobody, because he's gonna have weird dreams and thoughts lately, just like how Roxas was having dreams and having flashbacks about Sora's journey and Sora's feelings and how he felt during things, and his, you know, memories. Ira's nobody felt the same thing. The only difference is that it was dreadful because he was thinking about his demise and his friend's demise, as well as the whole Keyblade War. So that would be scary inside of his point of view. But that's the reason why he was experimenting on himself, so he can get some sort of self-awareness of who he is and what he stands for. And he doesn't even know his true self or his real name as Ira. Well, anyways guys, this marks the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you agree, disagree. Let me see what type of, you know, information you bring to the table onto this. Let me know if I missed anything, any type of like connections that I've missed. Make sure you let me know. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you share with your friends, as well as hit the notifications bell so you don't miss any of my Mystic content. May your heart be your guiding key. Let's grow this Mystic family. Peace.